And she was like, "Do you remember what happened? Like, I weighed 110 pounds more than I do now, and took my niece and nephew to a trampoline park." And Christine was like, "Do you like?" I couldn't walk up I slept on our couch for 2 nights because I couldn't walk up the stairs.
I went to that Fulton Fun Factory not too long ago for like a preschool birthday party, and I was bouncing around when all the kids left to go like open presents, and there was no adults, nobody in there. I was like, I want to have my fun now. My wife's got
this is my time.
Video of my knees just going out.
I was so dead. The Rona. Christine and I were like, "Man, let's go get bikes." And she was like, "When's the last time you rode a bike?" Because she spins all the time, like she does. And I'm just like, "Okay, cool." But I was like, I mean, they say that's like riding a bike for a reason. She was like, "No, it's not.
It's not."
And I was like, "Yes." I used to ride my bike everywhere. And she goes, "I promise you, it's not the same."
Sarah and I got bikes during quarantine too, and the first one I got, I was also significantly heavier at that point too, and we were trying to ride down the block, and I was like, I don't remember it being this hard.
I rode.
Why do my thighs hate me right now?
I rode 2 miles that first time. I've never been more chafed. It was just not good.
I was on it for like not even 15 minutes. The next day, I was like, oh, I want to die a little bit. It
was awful. It was the worst thing. I was like, what the fuck did I ever ride a bike? And meanwhile, she's like, she left me at the car. I rode a mile out and a mile back. And she's like, I'm going to keep going. 12 miles she did. And I was just sitting in the fucking car like some, just
like a kid left at soccer practice.
All right. Guess I'll watch TikToks.
This is TST episode 5. I'm back here with returning guest Dave Guy, along with Joey and Ian of My Heart, Your Hands, and Albus. Thank you guys for coming in today.
Thanks for having us, man.
So before we started announcing shows and stuff, we had a discussion right before this podcast started about guitar solos. Because our friend Doug Richardson was on here saying guitar solos are necessary.
Oh, he hates them. He says it in front of guitar players all the time. I like guitar solos. I think there's a time and a place.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed.
I mean, if you're playing in front of 20-year-old college girls, they probably don't care. Now, if you're playing in front of guys like ourselves, dude, I love them. I'll be up front the whole time. Yeah! Chugging my beer, everything else.
What I'm not the biggest fan is if like you're doing a cover and you hit that solo note for note. As like the guitarist that originally wrote it, it's like, you don't need to recreate. You can go off and like do something yourself.
I feel like there's 2 use cases for guitar solos. One, you're either writing a solo for musicians, right? I'm playing this solo specifically for musicians to hear, or you're writing it for really not musicians, like solely for vibes. And like those are the 2 use cases. And anything that kind of like is in that gray area, unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying, especially like, are you a band that you can say like, hey guys, keep this thing going and like we'll just like work around, like we'll go back and forth or stuff, or are you just throwing in a minute solos because you can and it's like part of the song and you feel like you have to and
right, like jam bandy solos?
Yeah,
not a fan.
Yeah, I like to know how much time I have to do what I need to do. I like to know like the chord progression. I mean, nothing against jam band. I mean, I couldn't do that. I couldn't hold a fiddle to those guys in that retrospect. But I like knowing like, you know, when the third's coming up in that chord progression, just so I know like where my notes should be. Not like it's guesswork all the time.
Mm-hmm. I do get a little panicky on stage. That
could you swing your mic a little bit closer?
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Perfect.
Yeah, I do get a little panicky on stage solely because like I like knowing things kind of down to the timing. Like you were saying, like I like knowing how much time in between things. And there's some room for improv in certain settings, but like especially with us being kind of relatively newer, is I get like things can fall apart really quickly if you're not really paying attention to that. So I like having kind of rigid's not the right word, but I like knowing where things are supposed to be because if I'm watching our other guitar player, like I know what he's about to do, and if that deviates, it's there's a little panic that sets in sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially like when you're planning on doing a real tasty like bend or something, and you're not hitting that hitting the note that the other guitar player said, and it just kind of has that discourse.
Like that harmonic's not hitting right at that moment. Yeah.
Well, when you're playing live too, like you said, that adrenaline's going through you. I know back the Wheeling Miners when I did that intro. You were there. I sat there from like 1 o'clock, and I don't think the what time of the game starts? 7?
7.
So
Yeah.
for 6 hours, I'm sitting there practicing the solo nonstop.
Oh, that was Hail to the King solo.
Yeah,
that was
Hail
like
to
the
the King.
trip.
First of all, it's a really hard solo anyway, but I'm nailing it the whole time. I get out there on the field, and as soon as the solo happened, I just fell apart. And I was like, nobody noticed, but I got off stage, and Joe Carr's just, I was like, man, I butchered that. He's like, I saw it. Nobody cares, though. I was like, thank God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 90% of people didn't even notice it, and most of them didn't even care. So.
Yeah. They were there to see football. They didn't care about a guitar player.
Yeah. So, the first show. What are we looking at here?
May 1st, My Heart Your Hands is opening up for Theriaca at the Rusty Bull in Toronto, Ohio.
Oh, yeah?
All we to show.
The Rusty Bull, in Toronto. I played there a couple of times. Is it outside, I'm assuming?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I was told they're building a stage. I don't know exactly.
Okay.
I don't really like, with it being 4 or 5 of us, depending on the lineup for that show. It's not really like that's a smaller location.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen acoustic acts play there.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to how they're going about doing it. I mean, I'm really excited for it, obviously.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I've only been to like that location once. I've had the food truck multiple times, so I've only been to the location one time, and I was like, I don't know where you would put a stage in here per se.
Right.
So my assumption is, I heard they're building a stage, and I assume it'll be outside. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it'll be like a covered thing or like a fucking carport. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Especially to be like back playing this kind of music for the first time in a hot minute. It's been 10 years for us ish.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm stoked. It's gonna be good, and they say that there's like limited capacity. Mm-hmm. So again, I'm confused on exactly where it is at the venue per se.
So I played there once when they did an outdoor thing. I believe they pulled a flatbed up to the side of the parking lot, and I believe they had a rectangle shaped beer garden that kind of jutted out of the place, and then everybody had different tables and stuff around it.
Okay.
Because like like you said, putting a stage on there. I remember when this was probably like 8-9 years ago, and I was playing there consistently, but it was always like they were experimenting with different like corners to try to see like what the best flow was. But I mean, that intake of people, it's crazy there. Like the flow of people in and out of that place is
absolutely.
insane. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I know that there's the event page is already popping off. Like they're expecting a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
it was packed. It was an all day event that last time I was there. It was really good.
Yeah, I'm stoked. It's gonna be fun.
Now, if we're thinking about the band name, I was thinking about it in my head the other day when you texted me. It's like when you texted me the band name, I'm thinking like it's funny how you can almost like get the theme or genre of a band by the name. Like, so what can people expect when they're listening to you guys? Am I guessing correct? It's a little bit heavier, but we're not like screamo metal.
Yeah, I could say that. What would you classify it as, Joey?
I would say it's like mid 2000s pop punk easycore ish vibes.
Okay.
So
straight death metal.
So Joey and I came from the world of easycore. Our previous band, We Must Say the Princess, we were influenced by A Day to Remember. When I joined, I brought a little more like earlier Newfound Glory, some drive-through record bands, things like that. I came from the world of like second and third wave emo, so when I joined up with them, that's what I was kind of contributing to the band. Big fan of like Set Your Goals stuff later on like that. Chunk No Captain Chunk was big for us for a while too.
Yeah.
The name actually, My Heart Your Hands, is a reference to from First to Last song. It was from the first EP from First to Last, the Aesthetic EP back in like 2002, I think. So that one was a song that I really enjoyed. So Joey and I actually toyed around with naming a project that's back when we were in We Must Say the Princess. When all the stuff that wasn't fitting for that, we wanted to kind of like put into this project. So this has been 13, 14 years kind of on the horizon. So it's nice to kind of be able to do it now. But yeah, he's right. Like the easycore stuff, that was massive for us. 4 Year Strong was a huge influence for us, stuff like that.
Now, how is that turn from Albus, like the shows that you're doing? Is it more like intimidating? Is it more like hands-on?
So for me, like, I love Albus, right? It's my name.
Yeah.
But so it's very different in a way. Albus is it's pop. It's energetic in its own kind of way. Mm-hmm. I would say I personally have more fun playing easycore in this style of
Really?
music.
Okay.
I think that it allows for a lot, like the energy is just it's up, and I think that I can be a better front man playing this music than I can pop music.
Yeah.
Well, I also think there's something to be said for the bird. Not bird is not the right word, but the Albus being a two. I mean, I Chris and I do join in, but being ostensibly just a two piece with you and Ralph.
Yeah.
There is more ownership to it, and there's more that can go wrong with just being the two of you. Even playing the tracks, there's still a personal ownership because it is named after you. That is, so doing this is also kind of a memory of what we were doing in our early 20s and in our scumbag early 20s, and there is a level of fun to it, and it does feel there's a bit of nostalgia comparatively speaking to what you guys do with Albus.
It's the energy levels too, man. I mean, I've seen you guys in Albus, and I'm playing with you guys now in My Heart Your Hands, and even back in the day, I saw you guys in We Must Save the Princess, and just the amount of energy on the stage. Albus to me is more. We're really good. We're a boy band. You guys are gonna dance. You're gonna have a good time.
Man,
we're gonna show off.
We're a man band.
Yeah, you're a man band. But you guys are gonna show off your voices there. And that's really where that Albus.
It's different strengths.
Yeah. Now with My Heart Your Hands and even bands like We Must Save the Princess, it's more about the energy. You get up there, hey, let's all jump around and have a good time and just, I don't know, start a mosh pit, whatever. Just get out here and have fun.
You don't have to be as precise with stuff like this. I mean, you still want to have precision. You still want to be as tight as you possibly can, but you can kind of just let the chaos kind of take over a little bit more than like a pop outfit.
Yeah, I think it also it takes the onus off of like having to do it myself. Right, Albus is me and Ralph, and that's it at the core, right? And so it's really hard when you have one other person to play off of, and you're playing pop music, and like I'm there to like sing songs that people know really well.
Yeah,
and here it's I can look to Ian and Dave and Chris for their energy. And I don't have to be the focal point at all times, right? And it's something about like giving up the thing, but also like because now you have, like giving that away, you have the space to be like a better, more energetic you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I really love playing this kind of music, and like if you come out to the show, you'll see why.
Yeah,
you might see Joey jump.
Maybe.
He was about 4 feet in the air.
Yeah, being able to feed off people, even if like it doesn't even matter about the crowd sometimes. It's like you're able to be like, all right, I mean, to get to start and look back, get motivated by the guys around it, and that feeds off to the audience. And it's funny, it's like you would think, like, I'm sure like people of the audience of both of these types of bands would think like doing the pop stuff would be more fun for you, but really what you're getting out of it by playing this kind of music and getting like with your peers and stuff, I mean, that's definitely where it's at.
Yeah, and it's like, and incredible credits due, like Ralph is incredible. I get a lot of like Albus fills my cup a lot. It's just different, and we've been very lucky and blessed to be able to travel and play big festivals and like tour and do all this stuff, and it's been very successful. So like I can't say anything bad about it. It's just a different energy. And it's just like it's weird, like trying to come back to it as well, because like I often forget, like, oh, you used to do this, and it's cool. Especially like I'm very blessed to have really good people in the band at what they respectively do. I have Ian plays every instrument. Dave mostly plays every instrument. Yeah. Chris is the wizard of all wizards. Right?
Chris also produces and plays in Albus as well, and pretty much everything you hear. I mean, they get the beats and whatnot, but all the extemporaneous or the extracurricular like musicianship is all pretty much Chris. Up until I joined, everything else was Chris. He does drums, bass, guitar, keys. Like, he's a producer extraordinaire. So that's why doing this when we were trying to piece this together, it was a no-brainer that Chris was going to be involved.
So, like setup wise with this band, is it the same as Albus for you as far as like, are you guys running like clicks? Or are you running full tracks in your ears? Or are you doing in
We
your
did
monitors?
run clicks for our. We did a couple months ago, back in January. We did a kind of a farewell. It was like a reunion and farewell for Women's Head Princess, and kind of a transition to this new project. And we use the clips and all that for Albus, utilizing them. I personally, when it's a smaller venue or when it's a smaller stage like this, I can kind of listen in. I don't particularly. I don't mind having them. I don't love having the in-ears sometimes, but Joey's more used to that. And with your work with David with the Splash Panel, like that's more your world and whatnot.
But there's pros and cons to having in-ears too. I mean, like Splash Panel, we almost have to have them because we are on a timeline the entire time. We have tracks. We have a lot going on. But with My Heart Your Hands, it's all raw. We don't have tracks. We don't have anything like that. Yeah. The only reason we need a click is just hey, this song's played at 120 beats per minute. So that's all we need. I don't need that. I need to vibe with my drummer. And having the in-ears in, it's almost a handicap because what I hear versus what you hear in the crowd, two different things. Yeah. So the way you're vibing out there versus what I'm doing, it just doesn't match. I'd rather hear the same thing. And
that's one thing I was kind of jealous of watching bass player and drummers. They always seem like they have so much fun on stage together.
Oh yeah. I mean, so technically, we're not running tracks. So we run. Our drummer will run in ears that he controls. Mm-hmm. I'm running a vocal rack. So the only tracks we're running, I also run a vocal chain so that everything sounds as good as possible. You know, it's the same thing you're going to hear from any arena tour or anything like that. And so I also am running in ears, but that's really it. And it's really all you really need. I mean, especially when, as long as your drummer is good enough to stay with that click, like these guys are more than good enough to stay with that drummer, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just showing up with a guitar and an amp. I kid you not. That's all I really need sometimes.
So how hard have you guys been hitting it like for this show? Like since you've
I've been trying about once a week, you know. These guys have been hitting it hard the whole time. But we had Splash Panel had a couple shows there in March, and I told these guys, I was like, as soon as that's done, I'm freed up all the way until June at this point. Yeah. So, we've been trying to get together at least once a week here for a couple hours. I know last week myself, Ian, and Chris got together and just ran through the set. And it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. I mean, we just all got to get, I'd say 1 or 2 practices, which we'll get it before the next show, and we're going to be solid. It's going to be a good time.
Now, are you going into any like the original stuff? It's all original.
It's all original. A couple covers.
I thought you guys were going to ease into it. That's awesome.
No, we have 3 singles released already.
So 2 covers in the set list right now. Just crowd pleasers that are genre specific.
That's perfect.
And then we did, as much as we did say we were going to retire some of the We Missed the Princess songs, there was just 2 that we really liked. One was that was a full contribution from when I first joined the band, and we just always really enjoyed that song. And the other one was one we only got to play like maybe once, maybe twice with We Missed the Princess. And so when we kind of started playing around again, when we did that reunion show back in January, it went too well, and then we were like, we can't not bring this one back. Like it was just and there is a level of, yes, it kind of pads runtime too, but like we have these 3 songs that are specifically for that were written as My Heart Your Hands style. So it's a nice mix right now.
It's really crazy. Like when you think about it, to your point, like any new band, like starting out, like the expectation is like, oh, you're gonna get an original or 2. And the rest are just going to be like crowd pleasers and covers.
Especially at first.
And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm 36. Like,
it puts an identity behind the band if you do it that way. A brand behind the band,
We also have the benefit of having so many years of not doing this, but banking so many songs that we could turn into this. I mean, there's a reason the sophomore slump is a sophomore slump, because you have your whole time to write that first album. And so, but it's been nice to see some of these that are just, a lot of them were concepts that Chris had that or stuff that I had that I've been doing acoustically for a while prior to, and it's cool to hear that really fleshed out into a full piece eventually.
And it's getting like this retro like resurgence to the genre in general. So like you're getting all this these ideas, like bundled up inside, then you see like there's actual eyes and ears on this type of music, like the perfect time to put it out.
Yeah, I think everything in music is everything in life, but everything in music is cyclical, and I think that we're seeing a really cool. I think we're injecting into the market at a really cool time.
Yeah.
Like, I have no intention of making it big, and like, it'd be cool if it happened, right? But like, I just want to go out and play fun, sound as good as possible,
Yeah.
and just do the thing, you know.
But yeah. So there's a discussion. You guys know Eddie Trunk, that metal show.
Yeah.
So there was a recent discussion that he's been posting on. I keep seeing it. It's because he got into an argument. I think it was like D Snyder or somebody, but it was an opinion on what do you guys think of like bands with like really extensive original music, like putting covers on.
See, I did see that
Because I think like Bruce Springsteen.
It was in reference to Springsteen's covering "Purple Rain."
Yeah, that's right. But he was doing it in Princess City.
They were in Minneapolis,
Minneapolis.
Well, it's Prince, but like I get, but the greater concept of it is that I'm fine with that. You have someone like Springsteen paying homage to one of the finest songwriters of all time. There's no argument here, but it just the broader idea of paying respects to that, like. I'm fine with it. I like it, especially because it wasn't just like it was a random cover. He was in Minneapolis,
right.
you know.
Yeah. Then you have bands say like Metallica who has like Garage Inc. that they have the covers that they're known for, but they're not really throwing out any other ones besides that.
No, but I would love to hear them try out "Die My Darling" just one time. And they do "Whiskey in the Jar," but like, yeah.
Yeah, I think that when you get into like bands of that, like a Springsteen, Metallica, like bands of that level. If they're going to trot out a cover, then they're doing it for a reason, right? And it's not going to be, they're not Benson Booning it, right? We're not backflipping at every concert, you know,
exactly.
or you're going to get this cover in Minneapolis, and that's probably it.
Yeah.
Contractually, I'll get it to mention Benson Boone once.
Yeah. One per interview, you have to mention Benson. But yeah, I think that I'm fine with that. Like because this isn't a recurring thing. It's like. Right. You're getting it at a special time because of a special thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like you said with your guys' set, like having those two covers in. I mean, if you like, especially if you guys aren't watching the crowds and you're free to like swap in songs as much since you're not on that like that track timeline, say Splash Panel. It's like if you start to lose the crowd a little bit, you start into that cover without even announcing it. Sometimes that's like the biggest pop you get. But it's not good to just live in that.
No, absolutely it's not. But like the two that we picked were two that were very instrumental, and I would assume the genre probably since 2003, 2005. I mean, they're ones that I know are going to get a reaction from the one we were picking because we had one that was already kind of. To be fair, we picked the first one because. We all just knew it from being in various bands. It was already there. But the second one was kind of like, oh, it's definitely paying homage to like one of the bands that we wouldn't sound the way we do if this band didn't exist.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the collective opinion of everybody. I don't know if like Eddie Trunk didn't realize that like that was Prince's town when he was complaining,
But then he doubled down right afterwards because that man can't be wrong, and that's coming from someone who used to love that metal show. So he just likes controversy. He just likes the conversation.
VH1 Classic journalist. That's what
20%.
VH1 Classic. That show, baby. That was awesome.
I did love that show, though. I really did.
Yeah. Did Jim Florentine? I can't remember the.
Yeah, Jim Florentine.
Can't remember the other guy. The guy that was like not really a name behind him. He just loved metals. Mm-hmm. I think it's a comedian, maybe. But. So, what kind of guitar are you rolling with? You sent me some ads on Facebook. You sent me some pictures of them.
What guitar am I rolling with for this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just using my old bass, the old Ibanez, man.
Oh, yeah?
Old 5-string Ibanez. Nothing just special about it, man. Just, what is it? SVG 410 or something like that. Mm-hmm. 405, I think it is. Anyway, and that same one I'm rocking in Slash Panel. It's been old trusty this whole time, so.
Did you run modeler into it? Do you guys do modelers, or do you have any kind of amps on stage?
We're running Soldano minis into orange 4x12s.
Okay.
For this smaller show, I might end up just using that line 6. Just for this purpose of the show. Just because it has the tone that I might end up using that one.
Yeah.
Remember the good old days of Pod Farms?
Oh, Pod Farms.
I've never seen that at CA House. Like when it first came out, that was like the new tech and everything on the pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always set to like Incubus settings, so you could plug something in and really see how it was going.
I still remember the way that sounds. All I can hear is gain. Nothing but gain. Looking back, plugged it in the old laptop. I think we used like, it wasn't even an SM58. It was just some cheap microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in a room with a whole drum kit, and just said, we're going to record some. And all you heard was just fuzz and noise the whole time. We thought it was cool back in the day. I was like 16 years old. First recording.
So how's the recording process now with you guys? How do you go about it?
So yeah, Chris is Chris Lizard.
Yeah.
So Chris has his like mini studio at his house. I have like a mini studio at my house, and Chris will get all of the instrumentation. Chris and Ian live really close by each other, so if Ian needs to lay something down or whatever, like they can get it all done right there. And then once the music is done, once we have like the demo, like a full demo, he'll send it to me. I'll write lyrics and stuff and demo it out at my place. Once the music,
so you listen to the music first and then put lyrics to it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he'll send that over once the music is pretty much done. Like everything is retracked, re-recorded, like set, and it just has to be mixed. Then I will lay down final vox and harmonies and stuff to that, and then ship everything to him over at Dropbox, and he just takes it from there. Yeah. And then sometimes we'll send things off to like Danny Coleman at Anaeronaut Studios in Akron to master. Chris I think has mastered these three. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really just depends on like timeline.
Keep transferring, changing hands.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I've always like mainly in like the country aspect of like songwriters, and it was always we would write out our lyrics first, and then. But it's country. It's like, okay, what template can we use to just slap on there? Is it like a Diddy and E? Is it like more of like an upbeat thing? What can we use? But yeah, it's really interesting. Now, does everybody kind of contribute? Who kind of like writes like that bare bones that gets sent to you?
Like the music,
like the music behind it.
It really just depends. So for the first three, it was really Chris.
Mm-hmm.
For the next ones, like Ian has wrote and brought quite a bit of material.
Yeah.
The constant stream of just riffs that I send you videos of, like, hey, I wrote this, like, we figure something out with this.
Yeah. So like for that, like Ian will send a video or something, and then like Chris will bring his like mobile setup, and we'll record like a demo of something. Yeah. Like we have a couple demos of some other stuff.
Usually just kind of like improv it for a little bit, and then just kind of see what it fleshes out to, like wherever the changes can go and whatnot.
Yeah. Is there any plans like in the future for like a printed EP? You guys want for that, or you just kind of like in the mindset like we're just going to keep releasing for like the social media, like internet aspect of it? Because it's a weird time right now.
A little column A, column B, because I mean we have the capability, especially with Chris, to do EPs. Right now, it's been kind of cool to just try out the singles. Yeah. But we probably have enough that we could do. We have the three that we're doing in this show, but there's about...
We're number 4. Oh, yeah, one of them is not released or recorded. Hype it up.
Which one's that? Oh, Ohio.
If you die in Ohio, you die in real life.
One of my crowning achievements is naming the song, If You Die in Ohio, You Die in Real Life. Yes, that one. Sorry, I forgot about that one. That one that's coming up. But I would say we have the capability of it, but you're right, it is a different landscape right now. Yeah. And it's kind of just singles, and either one works for us at the moment. I mean,
I think there's always the option of we can release as much music as we want, and then create this amalgamation of this is its own record.
I think
right?
the intent is compiling them eventually.
Yeah. But I mean, to both your points, this landscape, like, you have to move a lot quicker. You have to be so much more thoughtful, and like when you're dropping this stuff, the cadence of when you're dropping it, the promo you put behind it, etc. Yeah. And like I don't know, we're a local band right now, and just like having fun and dropping music, and maybe there will come a time where we run a big promotion behind something, or I do all of our lyric videos and stuff, and just because I know how, and I get bored at work a lot. But like, so we have like professional assets behind it, but And I'm sure at some point we'll go pay a bunch of money and shoot like a really well done music video.
Yeah.
But like
That'd be cool. It's something I've never done before. So
Yeah,
that's something I've always
and
wanted to do.
That's what we did with we did it here with Ezra Hamilton 2 months ago. He did it was almost like a live at Daryl's house type thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was a live recorded, and we had an XR in here, so there was like multi-track edited tracks afterwards. But what he's doing is it's a 5-song like EP album with a video, but he's loading it into NFC tags.
oh,
You can slide them into a keychain, and when you hold it up to your phone, it'll just download that album with the videos right to there.
Oh,
So
cool.
he's going to sell these keychains.
a really well done music video.
Yeah.
But like
That'd be cool. It's something I've never done before. So
Yeah,
that's something I've always
and
wanted to do.
That's what we did with we did it in here with Ezra Hamilton 2 months ago. He did it was almost like a live at Daryl's house type thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was a live recorded, and we had an XR in here, so there was like multi-track edited tracks afterwards. But what he's doing is it's a 5-song like EP album with a video, but he's loading it into NFC tags.
oh,
You
yeah.
can slide them into a keychain, and when you hold it up to your phone, it'll just download that album with the videos right to there.
Oh,
So
cool.
he's going to sell these keychains like vinyls, you know what I mean, like or a CD, whereas like give Spotify 90% of your 90% of your profit.
Make
Stuff like that.
0.0004 cents for
Yeah.
a stream.
Yeah, problem is who's gonna buy it? Somebody says, "Hey man, you want to buy this keychain?" I'm like, I don't know about all that. Man.
Right, like,
Yeah.
you want to buy this keychain?
Is
You
this
got
on
to scan
Spotify or
digitally, and it's
Pandora?
going to add shit to your phone.
Yeah.
I promise it's just like, wait a minute, you want to U2 me from the iPhone?
Hey, Songs of Innocence is a fine album. It was a fine U2 record.
There's pranks where like people walk over their phone and they'll do like the sound effect of like a money transfer, and they'll be like, "Thanks," and run away. You just
Yeah.
you give somebody your album and run away into Walmart.
Man, I just like it is. I love the ability that we have now to like be fully digital and do everything remote. But like, I don't know, there's something to say about the days of like self-pressing like 50 copies of your 3-song EP,
Yeah.
going to stand in line at Warped Tour and just handing them out to people and
Yeah.
like having headphones and shit. I don't Warped Tour RIP for the most part, but like
We did it in 2014.
yeah, we did like
We did it.
it was so much fun, and you just don't see things like that anymore.
Yeah. That's when I saw it, and I was surprised. I'm like, this is like the first like semi-digital or semi-physical thing I've seen come out of an artist in a long time, other than like
Yeah.
shirts and merch and stuff like that.
Well, we have a mutual friend who runs Flower Pot Records, who does Wes Meadows does a lot of runs of cassettes still.
Okay. Oh,
And-
really?
And yeah, fantastic work. Yeah, shout out to Flower Pot.
Yeah, shout out Flower
honestly.
Pot.
One of my old bands, America the Robot, was on Flower Pot for a little bit.
Okay.
Albus did a limited run of cassettes, and they sold out really quick.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
they were like pink cassettes with like, or it was.
Because I'm
really
still
cool.
a giant physical media guy, and I'm a vinyl collector as well. So any chance I can get to get like the physical media, I'm gonna champion.
What's the best sounding medium? If you guys had, if you had to sit down and listen to your favorite band mixed completely, how are you doing that?
Ooh.
Dave.
My favorite band mixed completely.
Not a band, way to listen to them.
Way to listen to
So
them.
like cassette, are we going vinyl?
I mean, dude, I stream everything now, so like it's kind of hard to think. But I mean, honestly, I'd get back to CDs.
CDs?
Yeah, that's what I would use.
I still have so many books and totes full of CD cases.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, like a CD in a modern vehicle. It's like,
Yeah.
mixed really nice.
Dude, there was nothing better than driving down the road when I first got my driver's license. Oh, I'm tired of listening to this album. Then whipping out the big CD.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
passenger seat, flipping it over, driving down the road with your knee, just trying to figure it out.
Ian.
I mean, I'm not a vinyl purist. Like that's I do like the way it sounds. I mean, I do think the thing I like most about it is it kind of you can't skip around, so it kind of recontextualizes how you listen to an album. You get back to listening to the full intention of a well-crafted track list. But sound-wise, I do stream everything. I mean, if I'm on the go, you don't have a vinyl. Streaming is streaming for a reason. It's convenient. It's the beast sometimes, but it's it's convenient. So I mean, as far as the quality, vinyl does sound really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a hipster purist about the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. Vinyl's cool.
Do that ball into my court, didn't you?
Vinyl's cool. It sounds fine. I think that for me, if I'm going like if and this is if I have my choice of anything, right?
Yeah.
Like my day-to-day daily drivers are like the AirPods 2s, right? But I think that if I in the future I just ordered the new AirPods Max 2s because and they sound great, like they have the best noise cancellation on the market. However, if you plug in the AirPod Max 2s to your phone, you get lossless audio.
Okay.
Which is a new feature for them. And when I say you hear sounds you didn't even know was in these songs.
You said it was plugged in?
Yeah.
Okay.
When it's plugged in USB-C from those to your phone, it activates lossless audio, and it's nuts.
Really?
Yeah. It's wild.
You really can't understate how important a good pair of headphones are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I've had really high-end studio monitors in my office for 15 years. So like I've been really pampered, I guess, like when it comes to like listening to audio every day. But like, yeah, it's I want it to be as like high quality as possible. Right. Yeah. And that's also there's something to say about vinyl. It has the vinyl sound.
Yeah, I'm not coming at you. Like you don't.
No. I know that. I'm not coming at vinyl people. But like, there's something to say about like listening to vinyl. But I like when somebody who does listen to vinyl is like, it's literally the best medium to listen to music, and I'm like, you're fucking high.
Yeah, no, I would never go that as far as that. I prefer it for the purpose of really contextualizing a track list.
Right.
Yeah.
More than the audio itself. But yeah,
more of a collection.
Even just streaming with a good pair of headphones with a decent bass to them, that's hard to beat.
But vinyl is like I don't know, it's a community. Right? It's an experience.
For smoking cigars.
Now you're speaking my language.
Speaking your language of cigars.
How would you listen?
How would I listen? I would probably go a CD into like a modern vehicle that's like really mixed right with the bass up. I'm just thinking back to the days where what turned the most heads back in high school was if you had the San Andreas burnt into a CD and blasted that theme song went down the road. Yeah. The fork and the spoon.
Absolutely.
Well, so let me ask this: when you think about like when you think about like audio and the quality of audio, like name an album that you think is just like that. Whoever produced it, like that is
the pivotal,
the mix. Like, what album do you think you listen to and you're just like, this was nailed?
Man,
that's tough.
See, I always say like when people ask me like, what's your favorite band stuff, I go by albums because it's like that moment in time with that lineup of people with that mindset and that sound. Like I mean, like the next album could be so different.
Yeah.
So, I would probably go maybe Zeppelin 3, Van Halen 1, and really I love is City of Evil.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Like the tracks, how it's mixed, the theme of it, how they sounded at the time.
Great back half too. I know like a lot of the singles are towards the front, but that whole album is I'm pretty content in saying it's a fairly perfect record.
Yeah, I was going to say, like I said, like the non-singles that you never hear could be singles on any other album.
Betrayed.
Yeah.
Betrayed. That's one I always go back to as one of my favorites on like the back half of that record.
Or that, or CCR's Greatest Hits, baby. No, actually, ZZ Top Fandango.
Okay.
Because I'm just like an old school blues. I love that thing. But I would say like, if I'm going to take an album that I just think was just like mixed perfect with like the lineup and the time of it all, it's City of Evil. I just love that. I love that album.
I can get behind that. I think for me, and I was never like the biggest fan of the Wonder Years, but the Wonder Years Greatest Generation record, the mix on that album,
that's just such a well-crafted album.
It is
in general,
start to finish. They nailed that every aspect. Like sonically, it is so well done.
Who produced that?
I knew this at one point, but I don't off the top of my head.
I'm not sure if it was Sturgis, but that album is so good.
So good.
I mean, that first handful of runs, not including, oh man, the easycore kind of 2007 one, but after that, like Upside, Suburbia, and Greatest Generation, that's literally a generational run of 3 records right there.
Yeah. Where you going with, Dave?
I'm been sitting here thinking, man. I say I'm bad about this. I don't know album names. I don't know song names. I put something in. I'll be like, oh man, this new Whitechapel CD is badass. So, dude, track 3, this is the best song I've ever heard in my life. So I'm absolutely terrible with this. I mean, honestly though, like a lot of the Joey Sturgis stuff. What did he do? Like Asking Alexandria, a lot of like metalcore bands from like 2008 to about 2012. Something about that sound right there. He just nailed it. Just on all those mixes. I know it's real digital. A lot of people are gonna lean away from that, but I like that digital sound. I think it adds a lot to the mix.
I mean, everybody's experimenting so heavy with digital at the time. It was new, so nothing really. A lot of stuff sounds pretty damn similar now, but back then everybody had their own take on it almost.
So there's a lot of answers. But I'm thinking some classic ones. I think the Cars debut album sounds incredible. I think
Cars debut.
Oh yeah, just the Cars in general were a huge like kind of my intro to music as a kid. The Cars debut is one that I love. But more contemporary ones. So my favorite album of all time is Sam's Town by the Killers. And I think that's produced unbelievably. I mean, that's the one with When You Were Young on it, but also Bones and For Reasons Unknown, Uncle Johnny. Like, everything sounds so good on that record, and it's just produced incredibly. Especially the Ronnie Vannucci's drum work is unbelievable on that album. 59 Sound by the Gaslight Anthem is one that I love. Kind of a throwback sound. There's a lot of really good room noise in that album. It's very warm. It was recorded to kind of imitate like a vinyl sound almost. Scandal noted, I mean, Jesse Lacey's a trash record, but Brand New's Daisy album, it was recorded essentially in the same room. It has that very live sound that you heard with a lot of grungier albums from the late 80s, early 90s, that just has that live quality to it. Everything to Nothing, Manchester Orchestra, it sounds incredible, same way with that. But I would say the big one that I would go with is probably Sam's Town.
See, for me, the pinnacle of like my music fan, what I love the most, like I put above like studio albums, my favorite thing are live albums that they went back and like overdubbed. That's my chef's kiss. Like growing up, like my dad I remember Sam Goody was like the number one spot. He would come with like AC/DC, like Stiff Upper Lip tour in Germany, like 2005.
That was my first concert with Stiff Upper Lip tour in 2000.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That was like
Slash and Snake Pit opened up. It was ridiculous.
Oh man. Yeah, we burnt through that live concert DVD just watching it all the way through. Do you guys have one of those? Because like I would go to San Diego and just they'd be hard to find, but like you'd find like Scorpions Whack in 2006, and they just sound so good.
Dude, there's 2. Killswitch Engage, was it The End of Heartache?
Yeah.
That DVD right there. Dude, I could probably kill that DVD. We watched it 1,000 times. That one and Lamb of God. Was it Philadelphia? Is that what it was?
Philadelphia, yeah, absolutely.
You see all the behind the scenes with the band, the good, the bad. You see Randy get drunk and get his ass kicked on there.
Oh yeah. I mean, to your point, live in the LBC, like a venue, like that's a perfect live.
Yeah,
it's nuts. It is so rest in peace, Rev. But like, damn, I watched that, and there's never a time in my life where I'm like, I've seen it. Anytime like it pops up in my YouTube feed, like I will, and I'll watch it all the way through.
Yeah,
it's insane.
There's one live concert. It's one of my favorites that would probably drive Doug Richardson up a wall. Is Ozzy played live at Budokan in Japan. Like Zakk Wylde was there. It was funny because most of it's Zakk Wylde doing a guitar solo and Japanese people watching with like no reaction, just watching his fingers. I could imagine like explaining to Doug like this is peak, buddy.
Oh my
god. Two that immediately jumped to mind for me as far as like live quality records. Bayside, live at the Bayside Social Club, from like 2008 or 07, 08. It's them coming off of Walking Wounded, and it is they just lost a member of the band. Their drummer passed away in a van accident in like 05, 06, and then they dropped Walking Wounded in 07. And you can feel the ferocity in the room. They're not inherently like an angry band, but there's a song called "They're Not Horses, They're Unicorns," and the opener is just you just feel the energy in the room. Like it's very cathartic that they're playing this big live show back.
Yeah.
The other one is a little more guitar wankery, but it's Austin City Limits. I think it's from '86. Is Eric Johnson.
Okay.
Eric Johnson. He hadn't put out by Musicom yet, but he does a version of Close to Dover on there, where there's this extended intro that has like this heavy delay reverb thing on it, and it's one of those ones like. If I'm ever feeling uninspired, I watch that specific clip. It's just, it is like you watch it, you're just like, I don't understand how you're doing what you're doing right now. And but we were talking, before we started recording, we were talking about like kind of soulless solos. And that is one that's one long solo, but you feel every sound.
Yeah.
You hear back to some of those, like, you talk about blues stuff, but some of those like early Double Trouble stuff. It's just live. I mean, it's just live in the room, and it just comes through. It's just, it's loud. It's raw. It just sounds so good. One of the biggest ones, Talking Heads. Stop Making Sense. Like it's been reproduced on A24. Just did the concert film and all that. But like that is the when I think of live albums, that's the quintessential live album. It's probably that one.
Yeah, it's like during that like early 2000s, they figured out we can do multi-track and we can overdub ourselves afterward and put that out. Yeah, I just remembered Sam Goody just perusing, just trying to find something. Like you find Iron Maiden Flight 666 there towards So let me ask you this: best like concert experience.
Oh, there's a couple for me. Of course there is. I mean, like I say, my first one was AC/DC. That's a hard one to kind of, you know, it was literally a gift for my, I'm not kidding, 10th birthday. But some of my favorites, 9 Inch Nails. I saw them in 09 with Jane's Addiction, and Trent Reznor is a force of nature on stage. I mean, that's like saying water is wet, but he is so good live, and I don't know if they had put out anything since Year Zero at that point in time, but like closing out with Head Like a Hole, and it borderline, I mean, they played like Wish. It was a borderline religious experience. That was, I'm trying to think something like Gaslight Anthem. I've seen them a couple times. Every time that's incredible. Actually, one that I don't know if it loses me credibility, but one that blew me away that I went in not expecting to like them, but not love them. I was impressed with how much energy the Lumineers put on.
Oh, really?
I would never have come out of that show saying like, or I never would have gone to that show being like, this is the one that's gonna like make me realize like why I should like them. Yeah. They have some of and they all play various instruments, so it's like everyone's kind of running around doing that, but like they shockingly blew me away, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, 9 Inch Nails is probably the number one where I left going like, oh, this is life affirming. Like that's
Man, the best concert experience is tough. One, because like, I don't know, again, been really lucky to play a lot of really cool concerts. Like We Must Say the Princess, like we got to play with
Courage My Love.
Courage My Love, we became friends with them, got shot out at Warped Tour, that kind of stuff.
That was cool.
We got to play with CKY when Bam was like singing for them, and got to like meet Phil and Ape and all those people, and like
I was not in the band at that time, and I'm still mad about it.
Yeah, like we've been in Albus is. I mean, we've got to like we're collecting old school boy bands like Dragon Balls at this point. You know, we got to sing Summer Girls with LFO on stage, and like. But for me,
we were at an Aaron Carter party.
Yes. But I think best concert experience for me, there's two. One, in college, we brought Bowling for Soup in to play a show. And my friend Andrew and I, we were all like kind of on the team that like helped organize. So we got to go and like meet them and hang out with them. And like Jared is like one of the coolest people ever, and just like really down to earth people. In 2008, the Scream Aim Fire Tour by Bullet for My Valentine.
Oh, cool.
My cousin Anthony and I went to that at the House of Blues in Cleveland, and we had just got a bucket of beer, and I'm not 21 at this point. And so he's carrying it, whatever. And we just like found ourselves down a hallway we were apparently not supposed to be in, and that turned into like 6 conversations later drinking on the bus with Matt and Bullet for My Valentine. So that was really cool to like be able to see them and then like stand side stage and like watch the openers like bleeding through and like,
oh man, bleeding through. I love bleeding through back in the day.
that was so much fun.
Probably one of the best concert experiences I've had is actually I played in a band a long time ago called False Ashes. And we played a show up at Peabody's in Cleveland, if you ever been up there.
Yeah.
And just that whole place is awesome. You have like 4 or 5 different stages. Anyway, there was a headlining band called Crossbreed that played that show. And just not even so much at them as, like, they put on a hell of a show, don't get me wrong. They were an awesome band. But just being able to hang out with the band all day, being able to walk around with the headlining band, watching all the other bands from the area playing on all these different stages. I mean, that was just a cool experience in general.
Yeah.
But just every show at Peabody's. There was another time I was up there for Mushroom Head, and that place, that was another band I can't even tell you. That whole place was a pit. Like, arm to arm, you can't move at all, and everybody's jumping the whole time.
Yeah.
Just Peabody's was just a whole vibe. Anything that went on there.
Before this goes out of my head, speaking of Nolly Fest and those fests and like best concert experiences, there was a band that played one of those fests at the Steel Mill. They were called Oceans of Glass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That
The Steel Mill March Fair?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The set that they put on
Oceans of Glass.
was not of this planet.
Yeah, that was the one. It was Venus and the Princess before I joined.
Yeah.
America the Robot, Oceans of Glass, No Promise of Tomorrow. That was it was summer, it was like July of 2012. That was a really fun
I was
show.
gonna say, was that Nolly Fest, the first one?
That might have been the very first one because I was in America the Robot at the time.
Yeah, it probably was the first one because that was the one Doug was fully involved with. The second one we threw down the Steel Mill was when I kind of got my hands into it.
Oh, Contentions was there at that show.
Yeah, Contentions.
Yeah.
Oh man,
but
Oceans of Glass.
I remember
great.
Oceans of Glass, and I was just like, "What did I just?"
Where are they
witness?
from?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They were so ethereal that I thought that they were not real.
That's how I felt when I saw.
It was so nuts.
That's how I felt when a couple years later at Steel Mill when I saw Save Us from the Archon play.
Oh my god, they blew up, right?
Oh yeah. Well, they just did a reunion show. I'm pretty sure, but they were unbelievable.
Too talented.
We've lucked out to get to play on bills with some. I got to live out. One of the first Pittsburgh bands I ever saw live was a band they used to be called the Space Pimps. They were called Eternal Boy now. But Rishi Ball was there, was frontman, and that was the summer of like 2006. I saw them for the first time, and I was like, I kind of fell in love with them from MySpace, so dating myself right now, but back in the MySpace era. And a couple years later, I get an opportunity to play a show with them. This band that was kind of instrumental of why I wanted to play, help with start being in a local scene. And shout out Gage Voda for actually starting a local scene. Shout out Gage Voda for starting. When I was 20 when I joined America the Robot with my brother and a couple friends, and we weren't old enough to play in the bars. And I was older than those guys. I think my brother was maybe 18 at the time. The other guys were maybe 18, maybe 17. They needed a bass player, and I like playing bass. And that's when we found out. We played a show in summer 2011 at St. Clairsville, and they just built the stage for the CA House Rock the House Fest.
Yeah.
And Gage was helping put that on. I think that's how that goes. And we made a bunch of friends that day of bands that like Gage started pulling them into the St. Clairsville scene, and the Warrington scene was what we called it at the time. Mm-hmm. And from there,
he's doing the Kevin Bar Center, which used to be the
Kevin Bar Center. So that's I'm playing there again May 2nd, actually the day after the show. I'm playing an acoustic set there, but we lucked out with Gage, which was when there was no real bar scene near me in Steubenville. There was no real bar scene. Like there was a handful, mostly cover bands and whatnot. Gage was putting on. I got to give Gage's flowers. He was putting on these shows and building these communities with these bands.
All ages, too. Like, getting everything.
That was the important thing, is that I would, we'd be on bills. I'm 2021, and I'm seeing guys in bands that are, 15, 16, who are seeing that it's possible.
Yeah.
That was it. And I was also seeing it as possible, but I had been, the entire time I was in high school, all I wanted was to be able to do this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
but also keep in mind at that time, Gage was also 15.
Yeah, Gage was like 15 years old, and he's putting on these shows, and they were very DIY. They were very, pirate radio of it all, but like they got done, and we cared about the scene. So when it branched to Steel Mill Bar and Grill down in Ferry, Redmond's Bingo Hall in Ferry, all these old places that I don't know if all these places are still open, but like especially Steel Mill.
It's crazy that Steel Mill wasn't there for a while.
I miss the Steel Mill so much. Like
Steel Mill,
the perfect outdoor venue.
Some of the best shows in my entire life thus far were put there.
Is that still stand? I mean,
I don't think so.
Is the whole building torn down?
Yeah,
including that outside stage. Is it just a parking lot now
for trailers?
Yeah, they got like campers in there.
Campers for like any gas and oil or whatever.
I saw so many great bands there. I think my favorite of all time was Great Fans. I miss those guys.
And shout out Creighton and Creighton Squad and Sean Colangelo's main band, right?
Mm-hmm. Those were just really cool times, especially like to be in your early 20s to just come back early 20s and all the way down here. It's how I met these guys. How I met Joey and when they were doing We Was a Princess, and I kind of hit it off with them and a mutual love of Gasoline Anthem and digging through my CD books and just seeing where we dovetailed and caught up with them. I was a big A Day to Remember fan, so that's what they sounded like. So I kind of fell in love, and then my other bands had played on bills with them, and then they asked me, "Hey, do you want to run merch for us?" And that's how I became friends with Joey. It's been since 2012, I think I met you guys, and we've been in bands on and off since then.
Yeah, and then I remember. I mean, we used to play Goodfellas.
Yeah,
you guys.
Yeah. I actually came across a flyer. It was on my memories on Facebook there. And it says, "We must save the princess, splash panel, and another burning hillside." So it was splash panel, My Heart, Your Hands, and just all of us.
It's weird how cyclical everything.
Yeah, and I think that show was 2012. It was the end of the World Bash or something.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's the show I played. I ran.
Was that a Goodfellas?
It was a Goodfellas.
You were the Merchadactyl.
And I was the Merchadactyl, and that was the first time. That's when Jake, their guitar player at the time, wanted to go in and mosh during one of the breakdowns. So Weber was still playing guitar for you guys at that time. And he goes, "Hey, I want to jump in and do the breakdown into the pit." And he threw the guitar. He goes, "Just open strum and chug a breakdown." And I was like, "I think I can do that." And then that's my first time I jumped on stage and played with that. And that was
ones and zeros.
That was 100% all it was.
That's right.
It was fun.
I was sharking people with pool before our set. That was when people learned I could play pool.
You have a varied set of skills.
None of them make me money, but they're all just they're for me.
They could. You're just not doing it right.
That's my wife is constantly just like, man, it's almost like you could get good at something worth it. I could, but why?
It is crazy. I don't think a lot of us would be still doing what we're doing if it wasn't for Gage.
It's crazy how young he was back then to be setting that stuff up. And that's what he was the last episode we had, and I was commending him by doing all ages shows because he's having I think the band's name is SOAM, and I think there's one
played with them back in January. That last show.
I think Fast Chocolate Nuts is another one. I'm thinking you're bringing these guys in there in high school. They're fans that are in high school that are seeing them. They're realizing, we're all at the starting point. We're all at the starting line together. If I start now, we can all.
It reminds me of when I was freshman year of high school. For me, it was 05, and there was still that scene that was, the third wave emo that was kind of bringing a lot of that around. There's a lot of guitar bands, and that was really cool as a 15-year-old to go to the one or two places in our area, or I would travel to Toronto, had an all ages place that you could still see bands and be you're a young teenager and just watch those bands, just be like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm bound to do. There's nothing else I want to do other than have a guitar and be on stage. That's it.
Yeah. I want to give Shelva Man their flowers. Those kids are 15. Evelyn, their lead singer,
they were cool.
Nutty. They're so talented.
Throwing down Kitty and Slipknot covers.
Oh man, just crazy.
Was that their first show back in January?
That was their first show.
Yeah, because you could see it. They got up there and at first they were all
they were very
real stiff.
Oh,
and then by the end of it, everybody's getting into it. You can see him loosening up. It's this is.
It was so cool to watch in real time.
And that's goes back to what I'm saying is I watched and rewatched in real time that thing hit them in the middle of the set, which is, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm watching them throw down. I'm watching her crush vocals.
Yeah.
Unbelievably, all of them unbelievably talented. And they're like 15, 16 years old,
Yeah,
maybe 17. And I'm like, you have so much talent and charisma, and you have no idea, if you keep up with this, what that's going to be for you guys.
Yeah.
What was your first show? I mean, how old were you?
The first time I played?
Very first show that you ever played in front of a live audience. Not a talent show.
Actually, that's funny, because the very first American Robot show actually was a talent show.
All right.
But to be fair, the first time I was ever on stage and played, I grew up, my dad was in bands. That's how I started kind of falling in love with music in general, was, reading his CD collection and cassette collection as well. And I started out as a drummer. And the first time I was ever on stage, I was like 9 years old. I sat in drums for his band, and I played Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh, okay.
And then he was like near the end of the set, and I should not first of all. And I started out as a drummer. And the first time I was ever on stage, I was like 9 years old. I sat in drums for his band, and I played Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh, okay.
And then he was like near the end of the set, and I should not. First of all, I'm like 9. But I had practiced a ton. I was a fairly decent drummer at the time, because I've been playing for 2 or 3 years by that point in time, actually practicing and learning. And so he calls me back up, because he was in the band with my uncles, and he goes, hey, Gene, you want to play something else? And I was like, oh, you played My Own Worst Enemy by Lit. And I was like, I 100% know that. He goes, are you sure? Again, 9 years old. And I was like, I know. And if you know how that starts, the drums don't come in immediately.
Right,
so he was like panicked when it comes on the second one. And he goes, the second I heard you hit that double hit, he goes, I knew you had it. But no, the real first time after that is, there's a place in Weirton. So outside of that talent show with American Robot, there's a place in Weirton called Crazy About Sports. It was a sports complex. And it was us. Chaos Kill was on that bill.
Yeah.
Lost Chapter was on that bill. Like, it was it almost got canceled. There was a crazy ice storm. We went up and we sucked. But it was a learning experience, and it was recorded, so we knew we sucked. However, the next show went even better. The next one went even better and even better after that. But it was like, and that first one was a lot of covers. Honestly, we'd only written 2 original songs at that point in time, but like, only not even 6 months later, we were like, we'd hit the stride and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that was my first one. That was January 2011.
When you saw their first band, you said like how they were getting the jitters and stuff. It's like, you also, in that first gig, you also find out you don't learn it through practices or anything, because you can always like stop rehearsal and restart. But like, you realize like, oh, this is on rails until we're done.
Yeah.
The next beat is coming out no matter what. No matter how much I worry about it or not,
Yeah.
So we're just going to keep...
Things learned to that first show: don't change all your strings just before you show.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The humidity and cold really do have an effect on the neck of the guitar.
Yeah.
Tuning is very important, and there's a lot that can be. There's just things that you take, and you have to have those times where you suck to really appreciate the times where things go well.
The first time,
I get stage right.
I
mess up all the time on stage, but you just gotta play through it.
the first time I played like as an adult, 2 adults, like a first like gig, my guitar teacher played for old buddy Jack, and all I had to do was show up at the Barton Trap to play Roadhouse Blues.
Okay.
I was more nervous because the week before there, I watched the previous owner get drug out of the bar and beat almost to death in the middle of the street, and then I got invited to go and play Roadhouse Blues for all these people. I was like, I can't mess up.
Yeah.
Mine comes full circle, because Nate Kepner actually booked me on my first show with
From
Theriaca. From
Theriaca.
Theriaca, yeah. And it was with you guys.
That was the show we met.
Yeah, we played this weird bar in
Frank's Broadview in Weirton.
Yeah, Frank's Broadview, and that was the first show we ever played. We fucking sucked.
February 2012.
It was wow.
Spectrum.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I mean, we blew so hard, but like, it was we met cool people. Obviously, I mean, Nate, our new band just got our first show with them as well. So like,
it's really cool to be playing with them again, because we've always kind of been on the periphery of like, Nate's always just kind of been like the Yoda in the background. Like, yes, I'm guiding you, because there was that show at Broadview. That's what's saying. When he reformed Fusion, when they were playing this For What It's Worth, they put us on, we went to the Princess, one of my first shows, guys, he put us on at this place called Triple Play that used to be in Steubenville. We played that a couple times after that, but then now this, and it's just he's always kind of like on the periphery of like, here guys, here's a stage for you.
So let me ask one final question. Because we're going down memory lane of all the places we played. If you had to go back to one venue in the Ohio Valley to play, whether it's still open now or closed down, what would you call home? Or what if you had to play in one place the rest of your life every night? What would it have to be? With the acoustics, or the people, or the food that was being served?
Well, none of the acoustics are good.
It sort of depends on. Okay, I won't be as long-winded as some of my other answers, but to be three that immediately come to mind: Steel Mill Bar and Grill, because just great memories. Outdoor stage, total amount of fun. The Roriton, because that's pretty much where American Robot and where a lot of my other time was kind of born and bred almost. But there's one in downtown Steubenville for a brief period called they run through the college for an system with this Harmonium Project, and they had a physical location downtown. And for a brief, amazing glimmer, there was this small venue. It was upstairs of this old retail building, but they had a stage, and it was just. I mean, you always felt free to go through the floor, but it felt like the punk DIY aesthetic. It was so much fun, and the people that ran it were super cool. They did come and shut that place down because the ceiling was collapsing in, but that was part of the vibe of just that, a Saturday night playing there. It felt like punk aesthetic, and that I always get back to that. So those are the three, especially, but Steel Mill is a big one too.
Yeah,
I'd get back to Goodfellas.
Goodfellas?
Yeah, Goodfellas.
That's a good time.
Yeah, we used to, I mean, it sucks to shut down, but the Kowalik family, they did a good job running. They always, it was really cool. We'd go in there and be like, hey, we want to throw a show. And that's like, that sounds cool. Let's do it. What date's available? And we could just go in there and do what we wanted to do. And that was that. I could say yesterday's too, but
I never got to go to yesterday's. I was about to say like yesterday's or 10:56, and I was like, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
10:56 was yesterday's, right?
Yeah, same building.
Yeah. I think for me, there's probably two. I think that the Steel Mill was like.
It's so crazy to think it closed down like it did. I remember, I first started playing. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Started playing professionally right when they opened up that upstairs club area, and I remember when somebody told me it closed down shortly after. I'm like, I just saw Joe Zeller sold his place out, and then a week later, Kip Winger was here. How did it just stop?
Kip Winger, I love Winger. Actually,
our buddy from Coleraine, the sheriff, pulled him over, and he's like, "Do you know who I am?" And I guess Tommy Paul. He's like, "Buddy, you're an Appalachian. We do not."
We don't give a shit.
Yeah, so like the Steel Mill, I don't know. It was like in my opinion, there has not been. I'll add an addendum after this. There has not been a venue in the Valley like the Steel Mill since the Steel Mill.
Yes.
Yeah. And everyone that gets it will understand what I'm talking about. I think that there are some really cool venues in the Valley right now, particularly like Waterfront has a great stage.
Waterfront's awesome.
But I think that man, we need something in the Valley that is like, I don't know, like it was the perfect outdoor setup. It was perfect for one-off shows. It was perfect for festivals. Like
they put a mechanical bull right in the middle of the two patios.
There was room. There was a stage. There was a outside bar. There was a kitchen. They shut it down.
Yeah, but there's room on that concrete pad. You could have brought in food trucks. You could do everything.
Yeah,
it was like
it was also the drunkest I've ever been in my entire life. Several of the drunkest nights of my entire life were because of the Steel Mill Bar and Grill.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Shout out Michelle as the bartender. Shout out Michelle.
I'm so glad you guys brought that up because nobody ever mentioned Steel Mill.
It was
a Chanel for us. It was such a huge thing. That venue was kind of where we said Princess really solidified.
I mean, it was Nolly Fest. It was Engage Fest. It was like all of
Anti-Jambo.
All of the anti-Jambo, all of the big shows, like multi-band, 15, 16 band shows, went through that venue. It was the only place that could hold it, but it was the only place that could do it well.
They were fenced in. You had an outdoor stage. I mean, it's perfect.
The loading was easy.
And 5 minutes from Wheeling. Because, somebody from St. Clairsville, it's 20 minutes away. Yeah, I'll drive there. Somebody from Wheeling, it's 20 minutes away. Nah, I'm good.
I will shout out that Wheeling has kind of picked up the brunt of the scene now, and Waterfront might be my favorite venue, but also River City still puts on shows. Generation still puts on shows, but I got to play Waterfront with Albus last year, and that was a really cool experience. So I go back there pretty often, actually.
Yeah. The other one for me, which was
Fun fact, Rochelle, who bartended at the Steel Mill,
Yeah,
also bartends at Waterfront Hall.
hell yeah. But Ian mentioned it earlier. There was this place called Triple Play in Steubenville.
That was the last of the bars that really held out before everything kind of got shut down.
And they had like a really cool stage set up in there. That place got packed every fucking show. And it was just like the vibe was always really cool. They had a green room area.
Yeah.
And it was just like this storefront bar in a strip mall. But it was so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that it needs to happen on the high side, just like they did with Waterfront Hall, just having a designated venue, not a restaurant and bar with a stage, a venue with a house sound guy. You come in, you know everything's handled. I mean we need a Jurgles on the
Or I was gonna say
side.
like Craft House, Jurgles,
Something like that, yeah.
Jurgles, we actually got to play with them there last year too. That was my first big show with Albus, and that was my first time actually being there. Jurgles is great.
Yeah.
I love that vibe. Middle of nowhere, but
Mhm.
it's fantastic. Way bigger than you think it's about.
Oh, man.
Right, yeah.
Shout out to the hospitality at Jurgles as well. The
They're-
people who work there are the finest in the industry.
Yeah.
Crazy professional.
So good.
They're used to working with musicians. They know, I mean, they know how to accommodate.
You know, they treat your like direct support acts like
Yeah.
kings. Like you get your own green room, you get your own server, you get and like they're serious about it. Like it's not like some sort of like throwaway thing or like to fluff you up. Like they treat you like a professional, and it is so. Shout out those guys.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap this up, guys. We've been doing a deep dive into music.
That's it.
What time you guys went on at the Rusty Bull?
I think we start at. I'm looking at my watch today. I think we started.
Thing kicks off at 7.
Kicks off at 7. I think we start at 7.
Okay.
And we play like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Right now, let's say 8 songs, depending on time in between. We might shave one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really just depends. Like come out, please. It's gonna be fun.
If they had it set up like that outside gig I did one time, it was a blast. It was crazy.
I promise we're all seasoned professionals and consummate professionals. We don't do any dumb shit. The whole set is dumb shit. But like we're really excited about the music that we're putting out, and we will promise you a very fun show.
Especially with Theriaca being there as well.
Yeah. Well, Dave, Jody, Ian, thank you for joining me on TST episode 95. Thank you guys for tuning in, checking out the show. And where can you find on socials? Do you have it on all platforms?
Yeah, you can find us. We're streaming on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer. And yeah, you can find us on Facebook. We have a bunch of shit like lyric videos and stuff on YouTube.
My Heart Your Hands on Spotify. Three singles released so far, but we have some new stuff coming down the pike as well. It's all technically new stuff, but yeah.
My Heart Your Hands, check them out, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.